Hey, how you doing today? This is Andy Gateriewictz. I'm with YZGenerations.com, and we've been around a long time, as long as it was when I had hair and it wasn't this color. Anyhow, today we are here to talk about video conferencing, because video conferencing is the thing, not just today, but it's going to be the thing for the future, the future, the future. Now, video conferencing, what is it? How are we going to be doing this correctly? Because the biggest problem facing anybody today, any company today, is communications. That's the biggest problem. It's the number one problem in the world today. Now, the best way to communicate is face to face. We know that. It's face to face because you can hear tone, plus you can see the body. All right, so now we're delving into this other area, this video conferencing, where we're seeing people face to face, especially going through this not anticipated events in our lives, but a lot of us are working from home. You're working from home. Before that, people were already working from home. But now, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to get effective communication through virtual video conversations with one another and also our customers? So number one, let's put it this way. Video conferencing was coming anyhow, so just realize it's not going to go away. It's only going to get bigger. So the growth of companies, of employees working from home, there's one reason why it's going to stay here. Number two, remote workers are more productive when you're working at home than when you're going into work, because you don't have the 1-11-5 rule, which of course is when you're at work, you get interrupted once every 11 minutes, and then it takes you at least 5 to 10 minutes to really get your head involved into what you were doing in the first place. So yes, working from home is more productive. Yeah, companies have locations all over the globe today. So yes, you're already doing video conferencing in order to talk to one another in one space. And we know that that phone call in the middle of that big table doesn't do it. You've got to be able to see people, to connect with people. That's what we've got to learn how to do. And after a period of headcount cuts, what's happened? Companies have now got buildings with what? Empty offices. You know that. You see it in your own building. And these empty offices drag from profit. So what do companies want to do today? They wanted to get into smaller companies. Yes. So their leases are not that big. And of course, it adds to the bottom line profit dollars. So are you going to have video conferencing for the future? Yes, you are. And is it going to be more than just saying, okay, I got Zoom, I've got GoToMeeting, I've got GoToWebinar, Skype, whatever you want to do, Google Teams, Microsoft Teams, whatever you want to do. But it's here to stay. So how are you going to use this for effective communication? Now, when we talk about effective communication, we're talking about one thing. Communication today is ineffective communication. We talk at people. We talk to people. We expect people and we assume people understand what we're talking about, but you know it. You ask people to go and do something, and they come back and they've got it done, but it's not what you asked them to do. Now, I've done seminars across this country, for many, 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 many years. And I ask the audience the same things, and I get the same answers. Yeah, I ask people to do some things, but they don't do. Well, you know what that is? That's ineffective communication. And researchers say that this costs a company $6,000 a person per year. Think about it. So if you've got a company of 100 employees, you're blowing $600,000 a year just because of poor communication, right? Ineffective communication. Now, normally people say, what is communication? Well, communication is nothing more than the transfer of thoughts or ideas between two or more people. That's what they say. But that's just communication. That's what's running you $600,000 a person in the minus. Effective communication. Effective communication means this. It's the sharing of thoughts between two or more people that all parties understand. The big word here is understand. So remember that. We'll be talking about that sometime in the future, but right now we want to take this effective communication and how do we get there using this face-to-face video conferencing and video meetings and even FaceTime or Duo or whatever you want to do with your friends. But you have a much better conversation when you're seeing someone else and you know if they understand what you're talking about. Mainly because you're seeing it right here. You're just not hearing words like, come on. All of a sudden, we had email introduced many, many years ago by Generation X. They're the ones that introduced technology into the business. Now, email took over everything. Took over the telephone, took over getting up and walking over to talk to somebody. We just email, get it off our desk, and let it go. But email, texting, instant messaging, they leave out tone. All right? When you're talking about a total conversation, the best way to conversate or to have a communication with a person is face-to-face, because you're hearing the words, and most of all, you're seeing this. You're seeing the body. And the body gives meaning to words. By the way, researchers have proven that the body gives off 66% of a conversation. 66%. Words are only 1/3 of a conversation. And here's a real catcher. For people that remember things, they only remember 7% of what they hear, of what they remember. Yet they remember 86% of what they see. Huge, isn't it? Isn't that huge? So now we want to make sure that we're going to help you use video conferencing to understand what is being said. Not just what is being said, but the meanings of those words. By you using and you understanding, finally understanding what this 2/3 of the conversation means. Now, a lot of people out there might think, come on, we're YZ generations out here. Yeah, YZ generations. The biggest thing about YZ generations that other generations believe, and this is true, it's done by research, you're super good at technology, you're super good at collaborating through technology, positively the best around. I love you. The only thing is that you didn't have the opportunity to really come face to face with people and use that face to face experience to get the total communication, not just for your generations, but you're going to have to communicate with other generations. You're going to have to communicate with other people of different nationalities. There's one common thread through all of that. That's the body. So you're going to have to find out, and you should find out what it's all about, okay? So in the future, what we're going to be doing is having video, right, meetings. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have video meetings. We're probably going to have it through one of the things, either Zoom or something like that. We're going to have everybody up on that screen so that we can see one another, and we can converse with one another, and we can make sure everybody understands what's being said about this unspoken word, the nonverbal conversation that, hey, come on, most people don't understand it. You read about some of this stuff, they got their arms crossed. Well, there's different types of arm crosses. I hate to tell you this. They got this arm crossed, they got this arm crossed, they got this arm crossed, they got this arm crossed. What do they mean? Well, I'll tell you what, right now, if you take them just as an arm cross, they don't mean a darn thing. All right? You've got 4 things you're going to have to read in body language in order to understand what is going on here, okay? So it's not just these, 60 to 70 different gestures that your body gives off. No, it's not just that. No. I love it when people say, make sure you make good eye contact, and they stare right at you. They make sure you make good eye contact. Well, making good eye contact like this, it's like staring somebody down. You don't make good eye contact like that. That's not what you do. When you look at a person, you look at their face. You look at triangles. I don't want you to get caught in the trap of reading just one thing, and thinking that you understand how to read body language. Body language gives off over 54,000 phrases. So therefore, we want to combine the body, how the body talks, with the verbal words so that you're going to understand that total conversation. Yes, and we're aiming at you, Gens Y and Z, because this is something that you've never been taught. And a matter of fact, this is something that most people in business have never been taught. We're going to do the whole 9 yards with you, but we're going to do it in a good process, like I said, through video meetings. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have video meetings. So, my name is Andy Gateriewictz. That's who I am. Gateriewictz. I've been doing this for a long time. Yes, I have. I've been doing it for a long time. Look me up at yzgenerations with an S.com, or give me a phone call. Area code 609-410-9291. 609-410-9291. Find out why I was a guest lecturer at the Wharton School of Business and of the University of Pennsylvania. Find out why I spoke at Columbia University. Find out why I go around the United States talking to businesses, and especially talking about this, my specialty of combining this body with verbal words so that you get a full understanding of what's going on.